Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's that time. It's tarot time with Cindy, my friends, and you can see in the upper corner I was shuffling the cards out. I gave myself a minute to look at the energy that was coming through. I do like to do that when I'm using the Wild Unknown Archetype deck. So yeah, we have some very interesting cards here, my friends. It is a collective reading, so I'm just asking about the collective in general. Actually, what I did ask is, I said, God, show me the energy of the collective, which is quite interesting. And then I said, show me what you were doing, what Spirit's doing in the background. See that? So the energy that the collective pulled out is really interesting. It is the tear, and it is the tear with the black egg. There's something in this combination here that talks about almost, well, it is almost like a purging. I would say it's a purging. It's a release. It's a release of emotions, a lot of emotion that's been held in for a long time. Now, this could be coming through as a conversation. You could be on the cusp of having a very deep and emotional conversation with someone. You could be in a very emotional state where you actually say some things that have been, that you've held back for quite some time. Yeah, because this black egg, like, it does talk about secrets. It talks about hidden secrets within ourselves. I mean, most of the time. But it's also associated with the throat chakra, this card. So it can be about having discussions and being open. Obviously about emotions here. Yeah, I'm really, really curious about... And there's a lot of purple. Like, there's a ton of purple. Well, not a ton, but that's pretty much the prominent color here. And there's a little bit of green and gold. There's a blue eye here. That might be significant for some of you. Yeah, I mean, it's very purgy. So now, before I get into what Spirit's doing in the background here, you have the offering as the underline. So the underline to me is kind of like past energies. It's what led us to where we are right now and what I'm looking at. And in the offering, it talks about sacrifice and that this is sacred. So it's about making a sacrifice. Possibly you made some type of sacrifice in the past. It might have now, with these other cards, that's also interesting. You made some type of sacrifice in the past. These are your underlying cards for the Oracle deck. With the Scorpion and the Dragonfly, there can be a lot of intense competitive energy around the Scorpion. The Scorpion is kind of, like, I've had enough of this situation, but it's kind of appearing to explode or appearing to have an overreactive response to something going on, like... If somebody's been dealing with a lot of maybe weight in their life in another area of their life, maybe a very personal life, and then they're at work and their boss comes by and says, oh, hey, Joan, do you think we're all actually going to stay an extra half hour tonight just so that we can kind of bring together all our ideas for that final presentation tomorrow? I mean, it's not like a huge thing to ask of someone, depending on where you work and what the atmosphere is like. But it's kind of a reasonable, we're all going to do it. And it's just so that we do really good tomorrow in that presentation. I've had enough. Why you always ask? It's like this always, oh, okay. Okay. But like with the Dragonfly too, there might be, I want to say there could even have been something going on in your life here that you were hiding. And maybe that was part of the sacrifice here. Maybe your behavior, this is weird, right? It's like a behavior not really being understood. A type of behavior not being understood. A reactive behavior. Something that may have ever even felt over the top. And interesting, the truth, because we're bringing to this, the truth of that not really being known or not being clearly understood. And this is, I don't know, almost, I mean, it has a bit of like breakdown energy. It doesn't have to be that dramatic, but it really, it kind of does have almost like, you just break down, you just can't do it anymore. You can't, I don't know. You have to say this. You have to say this? Okay. It's really big emotional energy. Now, okay, here's the other way this comes through. There could be a moment here that you're experiencing, or you're about to experience, or you've just experienced it, right? Like if you've just experienced it, it feels like kind of still raw and fresh that would come through in this reading. If you're about to, it's pretty close, where you have some sort of emotional release here. And it could be like maybe there's something that has ended in your life, or something that has happened, some type of sacrifice that you made that didn't really feel like you came out on the winning end of that sacrifice, but it was still sacred, you know, and whatever that was. But this could even be like some sort of final emotional purge of something. And when you do that, you really connect with the truth of who you are. Like you remove something that's been, like all this water element that's been sitting on top of who you are, or how you express that. So this is probably not the scenario for anyone, but again, me and my little examples and metaphors, there's this really interesting scene kind of coming through with these cards, just again to really clarify what this feels like. Like it's particularly based on the underlying cards that are supporting this, where it's almost like, okay, let's say you're an adult and you have kids or something. Not something, you have kids. And your kids are really close to your own parents or one of your parents. Today, no, okay. In the night leading up to today, you get a phone call. And in this phone call, you receive very tragic news that one of your parents, let's say it's your dad or something, your dad has passed away, and you're devastated, but you're also an adult and likely have already experienced loss through death and other losses, that you are still able to kind of function through it, because there is a sense of functioning through here, but to a point. And in that evening, in the middle of the night, or whenever that phone call came in, that next day is your child's birthday. You know, like there's something about where you hang on to this. You hang on to this because the purge, what this is, it feels like it's like something that has been hung on to. And you hang on to this, and you wake up in the morning and you're like, I cannot tell my child today, or at least not until the end of the day. You know, like there's something like that. And it's just, you keep it on, and you know, it's again, because it could explain why, because there's something inside here that you can become kind of edgy, because you've got a lot going on in there. And it's almost impossible to navigate without you kind of overreacting, or it's spilling through in funny little areas, and people are like, what's going on with mom? What's going on with dad? And that's like, right, like it's got that. And then it's like you get to the end of the day, the party's over, and it's something that you have to do, and you find your child in the room, and they're just kind of sitting quietly, and maybe they're going through some of their cards or whatever it is, and you just sit down and just say, honey, I need to tell you something. And oh God, I feel really emotional just doing it. Right? But that's all, it's almost like that's what it is. And it just comes out, and you're like, oh my God. Like it has this feeling of like, right? And it's not necessarily like it's something that you carried for a long time. It's just carrying that through a day. It's, you know, a day of a party. And it's like, oh my God. You know, in this example, I don't know, maybe some of you would tell your kid. I don't know. Everybody has their own choices and reasons, and everybody is different, right? So, but that's how that comes through. Like, it's a really profound energy. Okay, so what is God doing in the background here? Well, I tell you, loving you. God is loving you in the back. Now, I read the meanings of the cards just right because these can be a lot that comes in with them. But beyond that, I get such a feel, because this to me is like, this is something caring. This is something motherly. Oh, it's also interesting because I think this deer is also described as a very nurturing, the beauty and nurturing of this animal in this card is so tender and kind that it's described as a brand new parent, and holding a little child for the first time. And it's just like, and you can see like even just the biggest, strongest guy, it's just holding this tiny baby. Like it just turns anything big and burly even into just this gentle cradle, right? Like it's just, yeah, that's what the deer is. And it strikes me because this often looks like to me like it's looking through a broken window. Looking through a broken window. And one of the things that's interesting, because Eros can be about erotic love. It can be about erotic love. It can be about desires. But I want to look at this because the book, no, that's not the right one. In the book, it says something like even platonic. Like this doesn't have to be sexual in any way. And I don't know, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe this is something that turns into a purge of emotion. And it could be something that, like what God is preparing in the background for you is a very passionate experience on the other side of this purge. I don't want to not say that couldn't be one of the messages coming through. Where? Okay, yeah, here. Oh, it's Plato. Plato reminds us that Eros can be experienced as platonic love. It is activated when we witness beauty and truth in the world, when our barriers soften. Okay, so this is what God is doing in the background, right? This is what God's Spirit is doing in the background while you are holding this energy. Now, I like to say that, 99% of the time, when God is doing something, they are going, or they want to interact with us, they will do that through another. They will find the right person who is open and receptive to divine energy, who is in that frequency, and they will work through them. And they will set up events, like let's say this is you on a bench. Let's say this is you on a bench somewhere, and you're having this experience. Or, right, and someone walks by and God works through them and this person stops and they witness you and you don't feel uncomfortable in this exchange with them. You feel seen and loved and nurtured and you feel safe. Now, it could even be like, right, that parent-child energy of this. And the child, like, it's almost like you crumble and you hold the child and you cry. And you're crying not just for yourself, which you are, but like in that instance, it's also crying for the loss that your child now has, or that this is now they're going to feel this. They've lost the innocence of not going through the pain of losing someone close to them like this, right? Like that is a very profound moment. But it's almost like God would even work through the child, and the child would almost be like, oh, Mom, it's okay. I can still feel Grandpa's love, or I can still, like it's something really, really quite beautiful coming like through here. If this is something like, let's say that there's something that has happened or you feel enormous guilt about something that you did. It doesn't necessarily mean that you did something to another person. It could be because of something that was going on in your life that caused, like, right, something going on for you that caused you to hold a certain energy around another person or other people. And it's kind of like, no, they didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve me to treat them that way, or they didn't deserve for me to react in that way. But it's almost got this feeling of holding it and holding it and holding it for a long time. I don't know. And then it just comes out. Like you just say, this is everything that's been going on, and I'm so sorry, and I can't say sorry enough. It's just like this purge and tear. And then it's just like this person is like, I understand. know. It's just like really beautiful energy. Okay. So I'm going to go into the tarot and look at this a little bit more. The tear and the black egg. And oh my God, the Hierophant. Wow, that's powerful. Jeez. Okay. Some of you, it could be admitting to a loss. It's almost like admitting to some type of truth and the loss of that commitment in your life, or it could be admitting something to God. Well, now that's the funny thing. I don't know, right? Like it's because, I mean, God witnesses everything. But sometimes it's just declaring it and admitting it. I don't know. Wow, the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. Well, this is a very important energy because it leads you to a release. It opens you up to receive a new beginning. This opens you up to receive a new beginning. And this, in whatever form this is, it's very significant. And it could even be like some type of emotion that, I don't know, you haven't been truthful towards, you haven't acknowledged, but there's this sense of expressing it. It's kind of like opening the key to divinity, too, with this. And it grants you a new beginning. It removes the obstacles. I want to say there's something about helping you to see. It's kind of like, have you ever gone swimming with goggles and it's not sealed right? The water keeps kind of going up in there and you're trying to... You can't see right. Like, you can't see right. It's difficult. It's difficult to navigate. You're kind of like, whoa, I didn't see. That didn't look like what it was. And you swim into it. And then it's like, and then you just like let all the water out. Let that finally go. And then it allows you to see, to maybe even see what is coming in for you. I don't know, Larry. He's just like, let's everyone just act like I've been here the whole time, okay? But he said, come here, Pooper. I'm kind of using the whole table and I'm just getting started. Where's your tail? Oh, okay. Sometimes I kind of wonder if he hears me talking down here by myself and he's just like, you know what? So why don't you go check on Mom? She's a little bit... Who's she talking to? Yeah? Oh. Go now. I'm okay. Thanks for checking in. I need the table, though. No. Bye-bye. I love you. There's a big dog bed over there. It's actually a giant cat bed now because you've laid in it so many times that Lily won't lay in it. So somebody should use it. No. Going the other way. Okay. All right, let's look at this. Eros and the deer. What God's doing in the background here. The Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands. The Star. God, and the Ten of Swords. Oh my God. Okay. This is the energy of like God is working through you in some way, removing something. It's like removing something from your eyes so you can see. But you have to almost like cry it out or something to get it. See, like this sword through this. This bull's eye, a sword through the bull's eye, healing you. Healing you. Because with the Eight of Wands and the Star, that honestly just feels like divinely guided and driven healing here. And to see, even to see, like you to see. It's almost like the glass is suddenly no longer foggy. And you can see. Maybe you have, I don't know, maybe you have not understood maybe how you have felt. Why do I feel this way? Or why am I struggling with this? Well, you're getting it all figured out. Abundance, like abundance. Abundance of love coming towards you. There is an abundance of love coming towards you. That Ten of Swords is very curious. Daughter of Swords, Mother of Swords. Like everybody's here. Mother and Daughter of Swords and the Two of Swords. Wow. This could even be some type of conflict between a mother and a daughter. Not sure what to choose. Being caught between two choices. Two viewpoints. Sacrificing that viewpoint. But seeing clearly. Now if we look beyond, okay, then it's just Queen of Swords, Page of Swords, Two of Swords. There's an awful lot of seeing. An awful lot of seeing and needing to trust one's intuition. Yeah, I'm going to clarify some of these here. Could be some sort of tradition here that you're breaking down with the Hierophant as well. The Tear. My God, the Devil. I was thinking the other day that the Devil hasn't been coming out much lately. It's coming out much. It goes through like ebbs and flows and okay, the Devil crying. Man, some of you, there's something here. Admitting to an addiction? The Black Egg. What is this? The Ten of Pentacles. And the Hierophant. The Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. It's like purging the devil. Purging, maybe even purging your own demons? Purging your own demons. Purging your own demons. And then it's like you're opening some sort of truth here. Or are you taught? I don't know if there's even something about a structure with the Ten of Pentacles or some type of financial gain. Have you been gaining financially from, I don't know, from a situation? It's odd. And healing this. Maybe, some of you might be healing a relationship, but to do this, someone, be either you or the other person, needs to kind of own up to something naughty. Like really with the Devil. The Ten of Wands. The Chariot and the Seven of Cups. Not knowing where you're going is how that feels. Not knowing where you're going or being delusional about it. You're being delusional about where you're going prevents you from really going in the right place. So the Three of Wands, the Three of Wands, Temperance, so patience, waiting patiently, crying. He's like sweating, right? There's this water dripping off of the heron into the flame. Alchemizing your desires. Alchemizing your desires. Have your desires led you to bad places with the tear and the devil? And the Ace of Pentacles. Because it's like when you find yourself in this balance, you have an opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles with the Moon. There's a sense of gaining trust in the unknown. And where the unknown is maybe something that held power against you, you hold power in it now. Okay, so Eros is what God's doing in the background here. Wow, the Four of Pentacles and the Father of Cups. Balancing, containing emotions and love. The Deer. The Deer. The Ace of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. It's like finding you at the base of the mountain, and the mountain feeling like an unsurmountable obstacle. There's this tension that sits in this reading, like, right? Like it really comes from here. This tension that sits in the reading, and then it kind of resonates through other areas of the cards. Like, right, is the mountain is representing a point of tension, like an obstacle, or even feeling like one is climbing in the right direction and then recognizing that I was climbing for the wrong reasons, or I was climbing for the wrong things. The Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, perfecting happiness and joy and love. But first there's like a loss that has to occur. The Eight of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Daughter of Page of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. Let me get this all out first, okay? The Star, the Tower. What the hell is that? Like, that's odd. And then we go into the Ten of Swords. The Two of Wands. The Empress and the Star. Well, okay. Whatever this purge is, whatever, I don't know if you're admitting to something, if you're admitting that to another person, if you're admitting something to yourself, if you're admitting something to God, this admission, okay, this very emotional admission, it frees you. Okay, it frees you. And I want to say, like, even, it's the admittance of this that seems so important. You know, even as if you admit this to God, it's like, well, God knows. God knows what you're doing anyways. But it's kind of like coming clean, and even saying that. It is like cleansing yourself. Because there's a path here. It's almost like a path that the universe has been waiting to show you. The universe has been waiting to show you how to access this or how to get here. Wherever here is. And it does feel like it's breaking down one destiny and sending you to another. A very fruitful one. So, whatever this is, the energy that you find yourself in right now, it has a sense, I guess, of destiny in it. It's very heavy and big. But it's almost like you take it up to a certain point, or maybe that there are things that you accumulate in this destiny that are not necessarily serving your highest good. Like, you could become a lawyer, right? Like, you could become a lawyer, and that could be part of your destiny. But let's say 10, 15 years into that, you then become a corrupt lawyer. So, well, then God's like, well, that's I see what they're doing down there, but that's not the right thing to do. Right? That was part of their destiny, but now they've taken it in a different direction. And I want to say, and it's almost like it's some sort of admittance to that. And then it clears everything up. It clears everything up, because this is going towards something much more than where you've been. I'll say that. It's an enormous abundance. It's something that you've definitely hoped and prayed for. And it's like you're given a clear path, or at least that's what's going on in the background here. Yeah, look at the Death card. A rebirth. A rebirth through admittance. Yeah. I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I'm going to ask, what has Spirit been... what has Spirit been preparing for you? Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, I'm going to use different decks. Different decks to try to get more information in that. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.